Former Trump Deputy National Security Advisor, KT McFarland. Great to see you this morning, KT. I know you served as the Deputy National Security Advisor, so I want to get your opinion on Mike Waltz being named National Security Advisor.
Well, I was also co-chairman of Trump's 2016 transition, so I know what they're going through now and what the process is. Look, Mike Waltz is an awesome choice. He's wicked smart. He's got combat experience. I mean, he's a decorated Army officer. He was the first Green Beret in Congress. And he's also an America First guy. And he had the courage to step up to the establishment, the Republicans' establishment, as well as the Democrats in Washington, as well as, you know, the defense industrial complex. So this guy has courage beyond belief and integrity. I think he's going to be just an awesome choice for President Trump. And I think he'll work very, very well with the other cabinet officers.
Yeah, speaking of the other cabinet officers, the left is attacking Trump today. Here, this is in Politico, claiming Pete Hegseth is not qualified to be Secretary of Defense, with that headline that I won't read. What do you make of this choice?
Oh, gosh, you know, they ought to get some new gig besides just trying to character assassination of President Trump's appointees. I was attacked as being just a talking head pundit on Fox News and Newsmax, but yet I taught nuclear weapons at MIT, and I've got MIT, studied Chinese at GW, got an Oxford degree, but they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the fact that Pete's gone to Harvard, and he went to Princeton, and he's a combat veteran, and he knows about how the military works. He knows what it's like to be on the ground in those situations. He's not some think tank guy who's never walked the walk that he's talking. So, you know, I'm just dismissing those. Who cares what those people say? Nobody's listening to them anyway. They're all watching Newsmax.
Yeah, very true. That's such a good point. So J.D. Vance, Pete Hegseth, Mike Waltz, and Lee Zeldin, they're all veterans who have been named to Trump's team so far. We expect Tulsi Gabbard could be added to that list as well. And for years, as we know, the left has claimed Trump thought the military was a bunch of suckers and losers. But what kind of message does this send to everyone that he is surrounding himself now with so many trusted veterans?
Well, and it's also very interesting because in a transition, normally the jobs that are appointed first are Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of State, Commerce, et cetera. In this case, President Trump has gone to the national security world. The people who are going to be advising him on the national security issues, he's gone to them first, whether it's the UN job, whether it's the NSC job, whether it's Secretary of Defense, State. He's gone there first. And that tells you a lot about where his head is. I think President Trump will look very early on to make major changes on the world scene. I think he'll do negotiations in Ukraine. I think he'll do it in the Middle East. I think he's going to have interesting conversations with Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping of China. But I think it's really telling that this is who he's gotten. And he's gotten people he knows, people he's either worked with, people he's been talking to for years. So there are no unknowns here. And everyone that he's chosen understands what their role is. Their role is not to overrule President Trump. Their role is not to be smarter than President Trump. Like a lot of President Trump's first term appointees were people who didn't agree with President Trump and thought they should be running the country, and that didn't work out too well.
Yeah, very different from years before. We also have former Governor Mike Huckabee was chosen as ambassador to Israel. President Trump has already spoke with Israel's prime minister following his election victory. What does a Trump presidency mean for the relationship between the United States and Israel?
Oh, I think it's going to be very close. I mean, first of all, President Trump knows Bibi Netanyahu very well himself, so does Mike Huckabee. So I think that what will happen is that President Trump has said publicly, he said to Israel, finish the job, just do it quickly. And so all the strings attached that the Bidens put on, you know, they would give them weapons, they would slow walk weapons, they would put conditions on them. I think President Trump is going to be far more decisive than that. But the other thing I just want to point out about Mike Huckabee, who has been a colleague and friend for 20 years, there's a plaque on the Jordan River. There's a little olive tree that was planted, I don't know, 30 years ago. And it's a plaque is in honor of Mike Huckabee, who was rebaptized at the Jordan River at the same place that John the Baptist baptized Jesus. Wow. So Mike's relationship with Israel isn't just political. It's not just military. He goes way back spiritually. And the regard that the state of Israel holds Mike Huckabee in, I think, is just a really big symbol to them who they're appointing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love that story. All right. Thanks so much, KT. It's always great to see you. Appreciate it.
Great to see you too, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you.
Information. Truth. is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.